So we are now joined by Chase Matthews, someone that we've wanted on the podcast since day one.
We're here.
How are you?
I'm great, man. I'm so glad to be here, man. We said we were going to do it. We ran into each other the other day, Wednesday at Old Red,
Yeah.
and we said we were going to make it happen. So we did. We're here.
And how have you, how's CMA Fest been for you so far?
Man, it's been a blast. I'm actually from here, so I'm from Nashville, and I've been coming here my whole life, and like seeing the way it's kind of transitioned into such like a huge festival, and man, it's such a great time. I'm glad I got to be a part of it. It's a good dream come true.
And is this your second time playing it?
It is. It is. Last year we played on the Dr. Pepper amp stage. We handed out 1,500 free T-shirts last year. This year we had to up it, so we doubled it. We did 3,000 T-shirts, and we played the Riverfront stage this morning, 10 a.m. on a Sunday. Took everybody to church. I know there were some hungover people in there because Saturday was last night. So it was a good time, man, and yeah, it's been great so far.
Right, it's been nice to see like the journey with you, especially at CMA Fest, because we came last year as fans,
Yeah,
and we got to meet you upstairs at the meet and greet,
right.
and then we were at front and center at the Dr. Pepper stage, and that was
Crazy.
insane. And we even got one of your white T-shirts. That was
Yeah,
really nice as well.
we threw them out last year.
Yeah.
I saw a few of those T-shirts came through the meet and greet earlier, and it was really cool to to see that come around full circle again.
So, you've been really busy recently. Your new album just dropped 2 days ago. Come Get Your Memory.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a tiny bit about that and how it feels putting this new project out?
Man, Come Get Your Memory is one of my favorite projects we've released so far. I know everybody as an artist, we all try to hype our music up, but man, there's something in there for everybody. And I don't know how much you guys have got to listen to it since it came out, but there's heartbreak songs, there's up songs, there's party songs, but there's also songs that talk about believing in yourself. There's songs about, maybe missing a pet that might have passed away. And there's a dog song in there, and there's something for everybody. And man, I just love it. I got to work with some awesome people this year and just awesome writers, and they've really changed my outlook a lot on writing songs and new ways to write songs. And, I mean, I couldn't have done it without them.
And you posted a picture on Instagram yesterday with Hardy,
Yeah.
Matt Stell, and Hunter Phelps.
Yes.
And they got credit on the album.
They do.
Which songs did they help with?
So me and Matt wrote a song called "Fall for Those Eyes," and that song came about somehow our redneck asses ended up in a private jet. I don't know how this happened. So we're sitting in a locker room in Georgia at this college we were playing a show at, and I had him told him the idea, and we wrote it, and that's how that came to be. Man, he's very talented. Hardy was an outside cut, and which is a huge opportunity for me, man, because what an awesome guy, like huge writer, dude. And I don't got to explain who he is. If you don't know who he is, you live under a rock. But Hardy's the man, and got to hang out with him at Carolina Country Music Fest this weekend, and it's full circle. Hardy did Somebody Else's Truck, and he was also a writer on Girl I Know. Man, great songs. Go check them out. Hunter Phelps was also a writer on one of those, and I've wrote probably like 2 or 3 with him now. And so, man, that dude is just an absolute freaking beast in a room.
So, obviously, you put an album out last year as well.
Yeah.
Born for This, how do you feel like your music? Do you think it's differed ever so slightly since you've
Maybe a
grown?
little bit. I think it more than anything. I don't know if differed's the right word, like different, but I think I've grown. Man, I have kind of found the lane that I like to make and what I don't like to make, and but I kind of like to make everything. But I do have a box that it kind of has to stay in a little bit. Every once in a while we step outside the box, and if it works, we'll run with it. But man, I mean, I've tried everything from rap songs to you name it, man. We're trying to change the game, do something different this year, and man, it's cool to see the way that we've grown, and as a team, as a band, as writers, as managers, as everything, man. Partnered with Warner Music Nashville, and they have just absolutely fought for me since day one, and I love where I'm at.
Well, that's one of the things that we love about you, because you song Cheap Shots,
Yeah,
County Lines, and Born for This,
yeah,
and then even you've got a song with David Morris.
yeah,
So
dude.
it's just amazing to see all these different types of music that you're
Right.
doing, but still under the country genre. So is there a sort of favorite one that you sort of go towards?
Man, I really like the stuff we've done recently. There's a song called "Blink" on the new album, and I really like that song, man. It's a huge, big drums, big guitars, and it just talks a lot about the way I was raised. And I remember for a while there, I was working so much that I was kind of losing sight of like who I was there for a second. And I feel like we all do that because we're all workaholics, man. If we chase our dreams, we work hard at it, and I remember when I heard this song Blink, I was like, man, that that is me. That's me, man. And we took the video camera out to the woods, called up a bunch of my buddies, and we just kicked it. And man, it literally just turned out to just be this video of just, man, just me again. I felt like me again. I felt like I was making videos with low budgets before this thing turned into this big, huge, huge budget videos and all this. Man, it felt good to get back to the roots, man. And people are going to be seeing a lot of that. I'm getting back to the roots, man. We're gonna turn it up a little bit.
Going back to the roots as well, like saying yeah, at Old Red the other night, there was
Mm.
like a few familiar faces in the crowd as well because we bumped into Joe Tyler,
Yeah, dude, Joe
and
Tyler,
yeah,
bro. Man, dude, Joe Tyler. I can't believe you're, dude. I love Joe Tyler, man. That guy, man, that dude has been like, he's always had my back. And I don't know like a whole lot about like his backstory and like where he started, but I do know this, man. That dude, if a fight went down in the bar, that dude's crashing with me. Like we're going. And that to me means more than anything, dude. That dude's a real one. And man, he actually just dropped a song with Colt Ford.
right,
So man, y'all got to check that out, man. That dude's an insanely talented writer. If that dude wrote country songs, we'd kill all the. Matter of fact, I'm calling him when we get out of here. We're gonna go write one. We're gonna do it.
I hope we get a bit of credit for that one as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. You kind of got it. You'll get it here first, right here on Countryfied.
Um, but another thing as well, what we really loved about was your song "Born for This," like the music video for that. What was the
Dang.
whole idea about that? Like showing clips of you when you were
Yeah.
growing up.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you saying that. It Born for This is a phrase that my dad told me. I went and auditioned for this private school in Nashville, and I remember I don't know what was wrong with the guys that day, but he was just kind of like really rude and was just like, man, you're not good enough, man. I got stuff to do, man. Get out of here. And I'll never forget my dad like losing his shit on this guy, right? Like he was like, and anyways, we left, and my dad was like, "Listen, son, like, don't dwell on that, man. Like, you were born for this." And for some reason, that stuck with me for so long, man. And it's always stuck with me. And I've manifested the project Born for This for so long, and it just felt like the right time to do it. And if you watch the music video, you see a lot of clips of me as a child because since I was born, man, there's been a camera on me. Like, I mean, as soon as I came out, it was. No, I'm just kidding. But since my first birthday, I have tracked down footage from family members and aunts and uncles and found footage all the way back to my first birthday in 1998. And so, all the way from 1998 up till now, I have filmed my life. And Born for This just became this video of me. I've always had a musical instrument in my hand. I've always been a gearhead. In 2017, I went through a tough time. My best friend passed away. My dad moved back to New Mexico, which was a great decision because, I've branched out so much more to my other family members. But I know I'm talking a lot, but my dad had this car. It's a 1965 Plymouth Satellite, and he's had that car since he was 19 years old. And I remember me and my dad always watching this TV show called TLC on TLC called Overhauling. It was Chip Foose, and he would go and like steal people's cars, and they would think their cars are stolen, but then he would like restore them into what they wanted, and like the person that they stole it from, their family would like be involved. And I always had this dream of like saving my dad's car and finally getting that damn thing running. And I remember my uncle brought it to Tennessee, and shortly after that, my dad got a divorce, and he was forced to sell the car. And me, I was young, I didn't know what to do. I had to sell the car for him. We sold the car for $800, and it broke him. It broke him tremendously. And I remember my manager telling me when all this stuff started really happening, and it started really happening for me, man. He was like, "So you're gonna get a check for X amount." First off, I freaked out because I'd never seen that much money in my life. He said, "What's the first thing you're gonna buy?" I had to think for 3 days on it, but and I knew that was what the first thing I wanted to buy, but I just didn't think it was possible because how the hell am I going to track this car down, right? Like I never thought I was ever going to see that car again. My dad kept talking about that car, man. I wish you never got rid of it. Me too, Dad. Dude, I had to go get my iPhone 6 with a shattered front screen, or no, it was a 4S. I had a 4S with a shattered front screen on it. The battery was all swole out of it. And I took it to this guy, and I paid him like $400 to literally solder this thing back together just so I could get the phone number off of it. Tracked the car down, found it 3 hours from here in a million pieces, but I bought the car back, sold it for 800, bought it back for 12,000. Way worse than I sold it. But you know what? We got it back, and I surprised my dad with it, and it's in the board for this video, and we are currently restoring it. So dreams do come true, man, and I get choked up every time I try to tell that story. But I love my dad. It's my best friend, man.
That's unbelievable. Like, thank you for sharing that with us as well.
Yeah.
But you're like one of our favourite songs that put us onto the map with you was County Lines.
Yeah.
Can we talk a tiny bit about that song, please, and
yeah,
what
man.
it's about?
So I wrote that song in my bedroom. This was the song that changed everything. County Line was which has now gone on to be my first gold record, about to go platinum here in the U.S. And it's been insane to see what it's done. I was sitting in my bedroom, and I was just kind of in this spell with this girl I was with at the time, and I told her, I was like, I need some time to kind of figure out what I want to do. She ran off with this guy up to East Tennessee, and I guess they had a good time. Well, her friend ratted her out and told me who it was and everything. So I looked this guy up, and like I wrote a song about her and this guy, and I don't even remember his name, and I feel bad for him, but turns out now that she's happy and everything's good. So congrats to her, man. No hate towards her, because I probably owe her one for writing this song. So, but man, it's a great song. Wrote it in my bedroom, recorded it on a $200 laptop with a $200 microphone, and sent it off to get it mixed and mastered and a little bit of production done on it. And man, it has turned out to be an absolute life-changing experience. So you can make something of yourself, man. It doesn't matter. I mean, I was renting a bedroom for $400, bro, a month at the time, and it's just crazy to see going from that and sleeping in a house that the door didn't even lock on, and going from that to where we are today. So
Yeah, well, dreams really do become true because you are living out your dream.
Yeah, man. You just got to trust God's plan, man. He'll put you where you're supposed to be. A lot of people too scared to talk about that, but it's the truth.
And what's your favorite song to perform live?
Ooh, right now, it's probably The Way I Am or Love You Again. Love You Again has been translating really well. People seem to really be connecting with that one. It's currently at country radio, which is insane because that's a dream come true as well. And man, it's a full circle moment, man. It's been a hell of a year, and we're just getting started. We're only halfway through it, not even halfway through it. And yeah, man, we're about to turn it up. Album is out now. Just get ready.
So with the album coming out like a couple of days ago, what has the rest of 2023 got in store for you?
Dude, we're going to do a bunch of shows this year. We're going to get out there, as you probably, I think you told me, congrats. You congratulated me. I just bought my first tour bus, and so we're going to run the wheels off that thing until it blows up. And when it blows up, we're going to put a new motor in it. We're going to keep rolling it. Till that thing rusts in half, we're going to run the wheels off of it. And that's what it's about, man. You got to go out here. You got to feed the fish. You got to hang out with the fans and give them what they want, man. So here's 25 songs. We're coming to your city. And if we ain't, tell your people you want to have us there. We'll be there.
Perfect. Well, we'd love to get you across to the UK at one point.
We're working on it right now. I just had my first meeting about it, and we'll put it together for sure. I'll definitely come see you guys too when we're there.
Perfect. Well, that's music to our ears. But thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks.
It's been an absolute pleasure, and like one of our dreams come true, like to have you on the podcast, because you were one of the first people when we set it up says Chase Matthews, this is who I have to have on. So,
oh man, I appreciate that, man. Y'all have been working hard too, man. I've loved to see the growth with y'all as well. So thank you guys for having me.
Well, best of luck for the rest of 2023, and we'll get to see what happens with you.
For sure.
Cheers.